Hey guys, are you in need of peace today? I have a verse today out of John chapter 16, and it's talking about the peace that God gives us. In verse 33, it says, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. In this world, you will have trouble. That is the truth. And you've probably been there when things have been messy and crazy and uncontrollable. But Jesus is the one who offers us peace in those places. He is the Prince of Peace. And so when we walk with him, we can take up that peace and walk in the same way that he did. Jesus has overcome the world. That means that there's nothing that we'll go through that he hasn't already overcome. He's been there and he's got you in this. And so with that, we can walk in perfect peace that he gives us. What are the things in your life that are stealing your peace today? The things that are hard to trust that Jesus has already overcome. Today on your mat, I want you to think about those things and invite the Prince of Peace, invite Jesus into those circumstances, into those situations, and ask him to show you what his perfect peace is like, and choose to walk in that today. So grab your water and I'll see you on your mat.
All right, guys, I've got a yoga flow for us today that's all about opening up through the hips. So we're going to start in a simple seated posture. Maybe if it feels good to use blocks or books under the knees here, feel free to do so, but we're just going to come to seated, rooting through the sits bones, sitting up tall through the crown of the head, and just place the hands on the knees here. And let's close the eyes and just take some time to breathe into this place. Starting to simply open up the hips and breathe into them. So go ahead and release out all the breath. And then inhale through the nose, filling up the body. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, drawing breath into the hip space, creating room here. And with your exhale, releasing any tightness or tension found there and starting to move a little bit deeper into it. Inhale and exhale. We're going to take 2 more deep breaths all together. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Great job. 1 more deep breath. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly blinking the eyes open. Inhale, sit up a little bit taller. And exhale, take the left hand over to the right knee and take a twist over that right shoulder. So the gaze is coming towards the back. Inhale, sit up tall, and exhale, twist. Great job. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale, twist over the opposite direction. So we're going to take the right hand to the left knee and gaze over the left shoulder. Inhale, sit up a little bit taller, and exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, come back to center, and we're going to bring the fingertips high, reaching towards the sky, and exhale, drop the right hand down and reach over with the left fingertips. Stretching with the left side of the body. Inhale, drawing that left shoulder back slightly, opening up the chest, and exhale, stretch a little bit deeper. Great job. Slowly start to bring the fingertips forward, down the mat, and fold here over the ankles. So just walking the fingertips as far forward as you can. Close the eyes and let's breathe here in our fold. thinking about opening up the lower back. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. One more deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Slowly walk the hands back into the body. Inhale, reach the fingertips high. And exhale, take it to the other side. Left hand comes down and right fingertips reach over to the left side. Inhale, slightly pulling that right shoulder back. And exhale, reaching a little bit deeper. Great job. One more deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale, swing the fingertips around and fold over the legs one more time here. With every inhale, thinking about drawing that breath into the hip space. And with each exhale, think about coming a little bit deeper into your fold, opening up the knees a little wider and coming deeper into those hip muscles. Great job. Inhale and exhale. Plant through the hands and come onto the knees for a tabletop posture. So hands are directly under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and draw the belly button in towards the spine. We're going to take an upward facing dog to child's pose flow. So as you inhale, drop the hips down and come forward into your upward facing dog. And then exhale, bring the hips back onto the heels for child's pose. Let's take this a couple more times. Inhale, come forward into your upward facing dog. And exhale, come back into child's pose. One more time. Inhale, open up through the front of the body. And exhale, come back into your child's pose. If you'd like, you can keep the knees together here for your child's pose, or you can start to open up the knees wide and let the chest come a little bit closer down into the mat, opening up the hips a little bit wider. And let's just stay here and breathe for a moment. So maybe the palms are facing down, or maybe you're opening up the palms. Maybe the tops of the feet are planted into the mat, or maybe you start to tuck the toes and open up the bottoms of the feet. But wherever you're at here, start to melt into this posture a little bit more. Inhaling and exhaling. I love coming into child's pose and just letting it be a physical reminder to my heart to just come before the Lord and open up my hands to Him and let Him take whatever it is that I've been clinging on to or holding on to, whether that's fears or burdens or worries, and laying it down at His feet and just letting Him take those things. Take my burdens, take my cares, take the things that are weighing me down, because He is strong enough and He loves to be that comforter to our hearts. So I just invite you into that today, to focus in on Him who loves us and invites us to walk with Him. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Great job. One more deep breath here in your child's pose. Inhale and exhale. We're going to slowly walk the hands over to the right side, opening up the left side of the body. Inhale, reaching and opening up through the left side. Exhale, sinking a little bit deeper into the stretch. One more deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Come back to center with those hands, and then coming to the left side, opening up through the right side of the body. Inhale and exhale. Great job. One more deep breath. Inhale, reaching through those fingertips. And exhale, come back to center, pressing through the hands. Lift the hips all the way up into downward facing dog. And here, maybe walking out the feet, bending one knee at a time, and opening up the hamstrings. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. And exhale, slowly walk the feet into a forward fold. So maybe the hands are just resting on the shins today, or maybe they grab onto the ankles or the toes. But wherever you're at, just let the head come heavy towards the mat. Maybe shaking the head yes, and shaking the head no, releasing any tightness in the neck. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, fold down. And then we're going to heel toe the feet to the outsides of the mat. Toes are out wider than the heels. And slowly drop the hips down, coming into a yogi squat. So the hands are coming to heart center, using the elbows to press against those knees. Let's stay here and breathe here, opening up the hips. Maybe it feels good to place a block or a book under the tailbone, or planting the hands down onto the mat. But wherever you're at, we're going to close the eyes and breathe here. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Inhale, drawing that breath deep into the hip spaces. Exhale, release it out. One more deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale, plant the hands into the mat, lift the hips high, and heel toe the feet back to the center. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold down, slightly bending through the knees. Inhale, rise up all the way to extended mountain. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach it high, interlace the fingers except for the pointer finger, and tilt over to the right, opening up the left side of the body. Inhale back to center, and tilt to the left with your exhale. Inhale back to center, slightly pressing the hips forward, release the forehead back, and getting a slight back bend here. Inhale back to center, and exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, plant the hands and release the hips all the way down, sitting onto the mat and placing the feet just in front of you here. Inhale, reach the fingertips back, and exhale, arching through the spine, reaching forward, chin to chest, and slowly release the back all the way down onto the mat. Bringing the knees into the chest, take a rock from side to side, massaging out the back and massaging out the hips. And maybe it feels good to take a circle with the knees, going in towards each other and out to the sides. And then reversing those circles, going the opposite direction. Inhale and exhale, release the feet down onto the mat, and we're going to open up the arms out to a T beside you and take some slow windshield wipers. So inhale with the knees to center, exhale, drop the knees to the right. Inhale back to center, exhale, drop them to the left. Slowly take this motion with your own breath at your own pace, going from one side to the other, slowly and gently opening up the hips, opening up the sides of the body. Great job taking your time here, using the breath. Inhale and exhale. Great job. Come back to center and take the right ankle on top of the left knee, and we're going to find reclined pigeon. So pressing that right knee forward, maybe you're staying here today, or maybe you grab onto the back of the left thigh and start to pull that knee in towards the chest, taking this hip opening stretch a little bit deeper. Inhale and exhale, pulling the knee a little bit closer into the chest. One more deep breath here. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, slowly plant the feet back into the mat and take it to the opposite side. Left ankle coming onto the right knee. Maybe staying here or maybe grabbing onto the back of that right thigh and pulling the knee into the chest. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, draw that knee a little bit closer into the chest. One more deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale, slowly release the feet back onto the mat. And we're going to find Supta Baddha Konasana. So bringing the feet together, the soles of the feet, and letting the knees come out wide, opening up the hips here. Maybe it feels good to take blocks or books under the knees again, or maybe just letting them fall open towards the mat. Closing the eyes, maybe bringing the hands to the heart and the belly or resting them on top of the knees. Close the eyes and breathe here. Inhale, exhale, letting those knees fall a little bit closer down towards the mat. Inhale, feeling the rise of the belly and the chest. And exhale, feeling a little bit heavier into the ground. Maybe you stay here for the remainder of our class, or maybe you start to bring the toes along down the mat and letting the hands come down by the sides into Shavasana or corpse pose. But wherever you're at, bring the attention back into that breath, slowing it down and letting it come and refresh the body. As we finish our yoga practice today, I want to leave you with 2 questions to be thinking on, spending time in prayer about, and maybe journaling about later on. In what ways are you in need of God's peace today? What battles can you hand over to the Lord, our defender and our protector, today? Jesus, thank you for always being with us. You are our light in dark situations. You are the peace in the chaos. You are the one we can lean on. So we rest in you today, Lord. You have already overcome the battles we'll face. Help us to feel your peace as we walk through hard times, Lord. You did not promise a life without pain, but you do promise to never leave us. You are what we need. We love you, Lord. Amen. Thank you so much for being on your mat with me today, practicing and breathing together, and I look forward to seeing you next time.